Yo, what's going on? Alright, today's a little fun one. We got a key lock to straight arm lock to kimura combination based on a particular amount of defenses that people give you during that transition. It's kind of like once you catch them in that, they're kind of screwed. So I go over it in a partial, quick detail, but hopefully it's enough for you to catch on what's going on. It's amazing. You're gonna love this. Trust me. Boom. So the kimura, that was called the key lock or the Americana. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna grab him, slide underneath, and I'm gonna try and reach my wrist. But Paul's not gonna let me. He's gonna go straight up, straight. And he's gonna go really strong, and he's not gonna let me grab it. So what I'm gonna do, okay, so he's gonna just basically put his hand flat. He's gonna palm it up on the here on the mat. It's gonna make it very difficult for me to grab his wrist, and there's a lot of space you can see between my wrist and my hand and my wrist here, while maintaining his wrist. So what I do have is I have an option here. So I'm going to switch my hips now. So you can see here now, switching my hips, and I'm going to attack the straight arm lock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get just, so if we just show his arm here, right? So loosen your elbow. This is his elbow joint, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put space underneath here and then push his arm to the mat. So I'm going to come underneath here. And now he can see that his arm has a lot of space. So I'm going to put my hands here. A lot of people try and go for the wrist here, but I'm just going to go straight to the forearm, and I'm going to go on top of mine. As I do this, I'm going to suck his armpit into his shoulder into my armpit as I bring my elbow in. So my elbow's going to turn in like this, nice and tight. And then I'm going to have my hand on top of here. And my other hand here, and this is where he's going to tap. Right? There's a lot of room. Now, if for whatever reason I'm not getting him right, I want to get my arm as close to the base of his elbow as possible. So turn your arm in here. So I want to try and get my arm to be right underneath here. So a lot of people will tap it, sometimes they don't. So that's when I would go from here. I would just loosen it up a bit, and I would collapse. I'm still creating pressure so he can't pull his elbow in. So I'm creating a lot of pressure on his shoulder. Hand on top, hand on mine, and this one's gonna hurt a little bit more. Yeah. So that's the straight arm lock, right? Now, if he's gonna lift his thumb up in the air, now you're gonna turn your thumb towards your head, okay? And you're gonna like kind of, hold on a sec, kind of go like this, okay? So you don't have to turn your thumb up, it's just so you can kind of see which direction you're going. So there you go. Now he's kind of making it hard for me to get that. But look, now we're getting into that key lock. So watch my hand. I'm gonna keep this hand here. As I bring this here, I'm gonna roll over top of his wrist and put him down. As I then grab underneath here. Now I got the key lock. Now his arm's straightening out. Now if he straightens it out, I'm gonna go armbar again, but the reverse grip. It's the same movement, but a reverse grip. Now he's going to turn his thumb towards his belt line, and he's going to put his hand to the mat, and he's going to grab his pants, basically, right? So what I'm going to do, this is a very common problem for me. So I'm going to, before he grabs his pants, I'm going to flare my arm. So go back straight arm bar. So palm up. So I was here. He's going to turn towards his pant leg, and as he does that, I'm going to flare my arm up, which is going to block him. And then, as I'm blocking him, I'm going to regain my knees to the ground, and I put my arm here. What my arm does is it's blocking a path to his pant leg. Now, I'm going to lift his elbow up, slide my hand underneath, waiter his arm over, out from his body, grabbing his wrist, curling it in, getting the kimura grip. Newsflash,
Submissions are super dangerous. You really have to be careful when practicing them. You don't want to hurt the person training with you, and you don't want to be hurt by your partner. Be sure to take it slow and be safe. Communicate with your partner and let them know when you want to be released. When practicing joint locks or chokes, treat them with respect.